Hello everyone, my name is David Harbin, your host for today. Welcome to CA Training. First of all, I want to say congratulations on getting your new job. And I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time here. I'm just going to get right into the training because this could be about 20 minutes or so. So sit back and start taking notes if you need to. So basically, you go to the IWP, you should know how to log into that by now, and you're going to go over to CA Unicenter Service Desk. This is where CA is. You're going to click on there and enter your enterprise password and enterprise ID. And you should be brought to this exact page, only you'll have your name in the top right corner here. You should see all the same tabs and other information. Okay, so let's just take you through a few of the tools that you have on the left pane here. My Queue. When you click on that, you should see a couple of the requests that you have in. You should have 0 because you just started working. Your request, if you click on that, will have basically what you've been working on. And I have one right here, and we'll get back into those later. Let's stay on track. Today's require callbacks. You can ignore this for now. I believe I'll cover that in another video a little bit later. My incidents, same way, you can just ignore that for now. If you look down to requests, you'll see pretty much the same thing, your requests, but you'll see this additional section and folders here. My groups requests is basically all of site's requests. So not just the help desk, but ATS, AITS, and a lot of the other different departments that use the CA ticketing system. The help desk isn't the only one that does that. My group's unassigned request, that basically is a list of all the tickets in the queue. You'll hear that lingo thrown around a lot. The queue here is where you can actually pull out requests and do them. And as you can see, a lot of these requests have to do with clients around campus needing help with their computers, email accounts needing to be set up. You can take these and actually do them. And of course, I'm going to show you that a little bit later, but this is just a quick overview portion. Really quickly, let me show you what update counts does. Hopefully, this right here will change. Update counts basically refreshes the page. So you click that and, well, nothing happened because you actually nothing had come into the queue since I pushed it. But that'll keep you refreshed on what's new and what's old in the page. So let's get started with ticket creation here. One of the many ways you can look up a caller is by using the top right search field. And you can just change this to user by ID and type in the person's net ID. And here you'll be able to see the details of the person you're talking to over the phone. A new window will pop up, of course. Again, there are numerous ways to search for a person's account information, but for the sake of this portion of the training, we'll stick to the CA search. So if you look at number 3 here, it's very useful because you can see if the person you're talking to has called in before, and perhaps they're simply following up on an issue they've called about earlier in the week. It allows you to see the work that's been done for them already. You also might be able to get in touch with one of the consultants in the room who's worked with them, just in case they really needed to talk to them about it. So all of my requests, every time I've called in or sent an email to consult, is in here, all the way back to 2010. It'll be the same way for any other person that you look up. And now that you have all of their information open here, let's say that they're asking you how they can get their password reset. Down here is a scratch pad, and you can begin to use it just as it sounds like. Take notes on the call itself. And you can even use this section to search the knowledge base right away. So let's say the person calling about a password reset. You can search knowledge right from here. It'll bring you to all the different knowledge base documents that we have. And close out of that for now. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at what a request would look like. So File and New Request. I'm not going to go deep into detail on this video because in the next one I'll be showing you more advanced tactics, actually how to create a ticket. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to show you what everything does and how it looks so that you're more prepared when you actually have a ticket come in. So let's look at the request area here. Think of this as a set of categories that a problem fits into. You'll see a lot of things in the site's tree, but you'll always go with the help desk. See what I mentioned before, sites and help desk. And this will be all of the related issues that clients have on campus that they call in about. And you'll be able to put this into your request, your ticket actually. So if someone's calling in about having a problem with their email, you can click on the email tree and pick out of the category that matches their problem. So they were having a problem with Outlook. You can put that in there for that. I'm going to clear this out and show you another way that you can search for requests. It makes it a little bit more easy once you get the hang of things. You can use a % and a keyword. I can't spell today. And another % and push the tab key, and it will match to the best of its ability the correct request area. Sometimes this doesn't always work, but it is a pretty useful tip. So if you just type in email, it'll bring you directly to the site's help desk email tree. Now let's take a look at assignee. This grants your ownership of the ticket. If you don't assign a name to it, then it'll go back to the help desk queue, which is where it'll say my unassigned requests, and it'll probably get picked up by someone else or forgotten. So you want to make sure that you're taking ownership of your cases, also so that your stats don't diminish. We can track down the work that's been done for any number of tickets, so you want to make sure that you're getting credit for the work you're doing. So you can type in your last name and you'll probably show up right away. There you are. The next section here is created by. And this basically shows you how the ticket has gotten into the queue. It'll automatically start with phone when you create a new request from scratch. And any ones that you pull out of the email queue will automatically say email. And let's say you got one password reset that walked in person. Simply put, you'll change it to walk-in. And the same thing goes for chat. This basically helps us gauge how our business is being conducted. So the next thing you have here is a summary. And it doesn't have to be very long. Think of this as the title of what you worked with, like Google Apps account setup and password reset. Short, sweet, and to the point. It tells the reader exactly what happened in the case without being very, very long-winded. It's not only for you to be able to keep track and easily find your ticket, it's for the supervisors as well. Next we have the description. And this is the meat of the CA tickets. So when you've completed a case, you'll need to tell us what you did for the client, explain what steps were taken to solve the problem, and highlight any other important pieces of information as well. And we'll get back to that in the next video. Okay, so let's pull out a case from the unassigned request so I can show you how it looks in action. The next thing we need to look at is the log comment, another important tool. You'd go to activities and log comment. And this allows you to make notes or list updates on any given ticket. And this is especially useful for email tickets. You don't have to go back and change the description field overall and messing around what's already been put in there. You can have your own section. And putting the details of the work you've done on the email request here keeps the description field clutter free. where you can easily find out what you've done for that client. Just so you know, all the tickets you work on are readily available to clients. So keep in mind that your words can be read by not only your supervisors, but the clients you help. So don't say anything disrespectful or something you'd regret. Just keep in mind that using the checkbox internal right here on the log comment box allows for sharing of sensitive information on cases with your fellow coworkers only, information that's not important for the clients to know. It's important that you keep that checked all the time, and it's automatically checked. If you uncheck it, then anything you write in here is going to be shown to the client if they choose to open the ticket themselves. Now let's take a look at the transfer tool. It allows you to send cases that may be outside the scope of what the help desk does to another department. Let's say you got a ticket in the queue that asks for an update on their NetID creation. You can select the group in a manner similar to the request area tree. You do that by going to, let's say we have this ticket right here, and we're working on it, and it's a little bit too tough. It's not within the help desk's reach. So you go to activities, transfer, get this new window, and you can assign it to a new group that's not the help desk. And there's a lot in here already that you can pick from. So identity management, it'll save. You type in what was needed. Of course, it'll be more eloquent than that. And then you'll send it by clicking accept. And it'll go over to a new group and notify them as well. A similar tool is the escalation tool, but we don't really use that too much, only because it doesn't send the message to the group's email like the transfer tool would. So we don't advise you use this one. But going back to the transfer tool, make sure that you're including a note here in the user description. You don't want to just send a request off to another group without first giving them a little background information on the request itself. So make sure that you're being concise and detailed in here. That about sums up the first video for CA training. I hope you learned a lot. And the next video will get more in depth on what all these buttons do. Stay tuned.